All right, guys, let's connect. Today is November 5th, 2023, coming at you live stream to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. Not really much of other Walking Dead news, but Fear the Walking Dead Season 8, episodes, I don't know, 8, 9, and 10, or 7, 8, and 9, whatever, 7, 8, and 9, I think is what it is. So 7, 8, and 9, definitely we'll talk about those episodes. The latest episode is episode 9. Titled Sanctuary, and so let's wait for people to join. I went a little bit earlier for here. So I guess happy daylight savings. It's fall backwards, so we gained an hour. So if you're thinking this is 2 o'clock, you might want to adjust your clocks and your phones and your whatever. They should have adjusted already. But so I'm a physical therapist, if you don't know, and I'm going to go back to work on Monday. And so we'll probably have some people messed up with the times and, I thought it was this time. I thought it was that time. What time is it? Happens all the time for sure. So thank you guys for taking the time to be here this stream, every stream, just supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. We truly appreciate it. So Fear the Walking Dead, man, it's... Yeah, Boy Mirage says, man, I stopped Fear. How is Troy alive? So, let's just wait for more people to join. But ultimately, guys, Fear the Walking Dead is just laughable. It's been laughable for some time now. I don't know if the writers are just giving up. They think it's good. I would love for them to actually, afternoon, Diana. I would love to hear, a candid, real approach. Because... if they think, if Gimple and the powers that be with AMC and the Walking Dead universe think Fear the Walking Dead is good and has been good, it's just what are they doing, So I just think about it as Fear the Walking Dead is lucky to have 8 seasons. How many shows have we watched that didn't get past 2 seasons, 3 seasons? They finished after 5 or 6 seasons. I think that's the great number of seasons is 5 or 6. Because anything shorter than that is, it's just finished too quickly. They didn't answer anything or enough, or they rushed it to be done. Anything after that is just too much, extended too long, just not really worth it, So 8 seasons, kind of crazy. Jonathan Water, Q&A, did you enjoy your extra hour of sleep? If I got an extra hour of sleep. So every morning, Milo, my cat, if you don't know, Milo is my cat. He's one of our 2 cats, Milo and Otis. Milo wakes me up or tries to wake somebody up at 7 in the morning. So the hour change made it 6 in the morning because he doesn't care. He wants to get up, get food, because if we leave too much food out at night, he's going to puke it up. And he's looking at me from the room over there. I see you. Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy boy. I love you, but this getting up early stuff is kind of crazy. But, so, he woke me up. I gave him food. Because he'll cry. And then no one gets up. No one does anything for him. He cries more. Scratches at the doors. Cries more. Scratches at the doors. And then either he gets put in the garage to cry out there, or the garage is closed. He's got a litter box out there. He's got stuff out there. It's just, So we got to deal with that. But yeah, I didn't get no extra hour of sleep. By probably hopefully going to go to bed earlier because my body's going to be like, what time is it? Okay, I'm just going to go to bed and then wake up and hopefully make up for it that way. But the time, daylight savings, to me, I'm not a big fan. I especially hate when we spring forward and we lose an hour, because that's crazy. It's just sleep deprivation and this, and got to get used to it. And it takes a solid 2 weeks before we get used to it, or at least I get used to it. But, I don't know. I just wish we would change the clocks one last time and then never change them again. Is that ever going to happen? I don't know. I don't even know why we still do this. But it's just, it's one of those things where people have been doing it for so long, and they just Well, that's the way it is. Well, that's what we do. That's just what we've been doing for so long. And you're like, well, we can change it. Like, there's been plenty of things that we've changed at this point up to 2023, but it's just like, come on, right? So I don't know any news about The Ones Who Live. I saw somewhere on Instagram that somebody said that it's going to be February 25th, 2024 for the first episode of The Ones Who Live, also known as the Rick and Michonne Show. But I didn't see that anywhere else from the Walking Dead Universe, Walking Dead, or any other channels like that. But I don't know. It is what it is. So ultimately, if it's the 18th or 25th, it makes the most sense. We just don't have a date yet. If anybody has known that or they've seen it somewhere, please let them know in the chat. I just haven't seen it. John, I didn't watch Crown Jewel, and the wrestling right now is, I could care less about wrestling right now. Gary Page, hey, Brad Q&A, how do you think it will end? A time jump, maybe with a crossover character to please us all? So I guess you're asking Gary about Fear the Walking Dead. How do I think it will end? To be honest, I have no clue what they're going to do, because I have no idea what they're doing now with Troy, Padre, face-offs. Like they've, in the first two episodes, you've had Troy and Madison's group coming head-to-head. Guns are drawn. You can attack each other at all. Doesn't happen. Second episode, same thing. Troy runs literally right through Madison and Strand's people to go look for his daughter. Then Madison and Troy are actually fighting, and they have Troy dead to rights with a walker on top of him before they even start fighting. And Charlie was sent by Madison. Madison wants Troy dead. Why didn't they kill Troy when they had a chance? Well, because Troy is the villain, and they need Troy for at least 5 to 6, probably all 6 episodes, even though he's not in episode 3. And more on that later. We'll talk about that the last half hour, 45 minutes of the stream. But it's just like one of those frustrating things where you're like, this is so dumb. It's so annoying. And like, I don't know if the actors are doing this and they're filming and they're reading the scripts, and do they really like, wow, this is good? Or are they just like, at least I'm getting paid for this crap? Like, what is it? Like, I would love to talk to people from The Walking Dead versus Fear the Walking Dead. So like Morgan, Austin Emilio, who plays Dwight, Sherry. Those 3 characters came from The Walking Dead. And I'm sure The Walking Dead scripts are much better than Fear the Walking Dead scripts, and the storyline is much better and everything like that too. So Lenny James, I would love to see what his thing is, this versus that. But if they were paying me enough, like I'm sure Lenny James got a ton of money to be on Fear the Walking Dead. So if I'm making a couple $1 million a season, I would be on Fear the Walking Dead too. But Fear the Walking Dead is just so frustrating because it was a clean slate. It was a blank slate. You could have done anything you wanted to do, and then they still did stuff. They tried. They really tried. The first 3 seasons, they tried. Like, the first season, I know you got to build up the character base and blah, 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 but the whole Madison, just Kim Dickens thing just didn't work. Then you have, Travis and just that whole debacle and his son Chris, and it was just like a mess. And it just didn't improve enough. And by the 3rd season, like the 2nd season was okay when they were in Mexico with Luciana, but then look what they did with Luciana. Look what they did with Daniel. Look what they did multiple times with Strand. Look what they've done with all the Clarks. Look what they've done with all these characters. They didn't do anything to help them. Like Strand could have been a pretty good character, but he's just been all over the place, and he's all about taking care of himself, which I get, but are we supposed to like him? Because he's not really done anything that great to help people. And if you try to kill Morgan off, you're not going to be cool. I don't think you'll be cool with that. Unless you don't like Morgan, I guess. So I don't know. Like, it's just like frustrating to watch. But I didn't talk about it last stream, and I forgot to talk about it. But we watched a Generation V, so it's Gen V from the Boys universe. And The Boys is a good series. It's 3 seasons. I'm guessing the 4th season will come out next year. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's going to be in next season. Gen V, 6 episodes. Oh, it was 8. I think it's 8 episodes. But I just watched the finale. And it was cool because it connects with the Boys universe. Like, the dumbest thing Fear the Walking Dead ever did was say, we're going to go our own way. Well, then call it something else. Don't call it blank The Walking Dead. Because the people that are going to watch The Walking Dead are expecting things from Fear the Walking Dead. They're expecting things to be a certain caliber, I'm guessing. I know I kind of did. And the idea is to do their own show, their own things, no connections, and then by the time season 4 came around, they were like, wait a second. We have this great other show. Let's connect the universe a little bit. Let's do that. And by that time, it's too late. It's the 4th season. And then the stuff with the airplane and the beer bottle balloon and the kids in there too. So I saw a thing on Facebook that said the fates of Sarah, Wendell, Rabbi Jacob, and I don't know if any other characters, but those 3 characters at least, maybe another person here there. I guess they died. I guess we're never going to see them again. What happened with the kids that were a big part of season 5, I guess? Is that what it was? Season 5? Never seen them again. Like, are we going to see Skidmark? Are we going to see any? Because that cat, I don't know. If it was a couple years old, I guess it could survive this long. But Skidmark would be way older now, too. So you just killed off characters off screen and have no reference to them whatsoever. Like, if you kill a character off screen, I guess it's okay, I guess, right? But make reference to them. Especially Sarah and Wendell and Rabbi Jacob, that has some sort of reference to them. You brought Charlie back in just to kill her off last episode. You're like, cool. Nope. See ya. And it's just like filler. Like, I really think Fear the Walking Dead writers have written themselves in so many different corners and they didn't know how to get out of them. So they're just like, yep, let's start fresh next season. Let's start fresh the second half of the same season. Let's bring in this character, that character, this thing on there too to fill in the gaps a little bit. And then boop, gone, never see him again. What happened to them? What happened to Althea? What happened to this person? What happened to that? You know, will we ever see Althea? We have 3 episodes left. Will we see Alicia again? Will we see Althea again? Will we see any reference to Sarah, Wendell, Rabbi Jacob, any of the kids, anything like that? Or is it just the Madison show and her stupid sledgehammer that makes no sense how she can swing it around? Because next week's episode looks like Madison killing a bunch of walkers and she's like, killing with the sledgehammer. And it's just laughable. It's just laughable at this point. Right? It's almost laughable how she can just find oxygen. So there too. So nothing really new to report about The Ones Who Live besides a potential possible date of the 25th, but that's not been confirmed by any means. And the Daryl show, I'm guessing, is still filming. And last thing I heard, they were filming in an old abandoned racetrack in France somewhere. So there's been no news about that. We don't know when we're going to get a trailer for The Ones Who Live. But yeah, so I watched a thing on Sylvester Stallone called Sly on Netflix. And if you've watched enough things about Sylvester Stallone, like the thing about Paramount Plus with his family and any other documentary type things about him, it's pretty much the same information that you find out about it. But then we find out a little bit more information about Sylvester Stallone and his dad and this and his mom. And, you know, it's always cool. I like Sylvester Stallone. So if you want to check it out, it's called Sly. It's a documentary film. It's not a series like the Arnold thing was, but pretty cool for sure. And then we finished Gen V. We're watching Upload, which I didn't even know there was another season of that. The 3rd season of Upload is on Amazon. And it just came up on my Amazon Fire Stick home screen. Like, boop, there it is. 3rd season. So we're watching that, which is good. Something big needs to happen, though. Like, it's just a lot of, like, them doing stuff in each episode, and it's not really progressing the story much. So hopefully more of that happens. But I'm just watching Fear the Walking Dead just to see how it ends. You know, I've invested this much time and everything into the universe, so I'm just still watching it too. So Michael Singer says they still never showed how Madison survived the stadium fire. Like, how did she get help? Exactly. So the showrunners, I believe, they told us that we were supposed to see how that happened or how they talked about it a little bit. So in the first 3 episodes of the back half 6, the last 6, haven't seen it yet. Madison's not even in the 3rd episode. So it's just a lot of stuff there too. Yeah, Angela says Upload is hilarious and great. Break between season 2 and 3 was too big. Yeah, I mean, it's up there now, so you can watch all 3 seasons. And yeah, I enjoy it. Like, I like Robbie Amell, I think his name is. He's pretty cool. I'm definitely enjoying it, and I recommend it. It's a different kind of show, which is cool. Phantom Deluxe, have you read The Walking Dead Typhoon? Do you think deserves? I haven't read it, and I'm not gonna read it. But I've been hard at work on the Fight for Us series. I'm on book 20 right now, which is called The End. I'm on chapter 14, I think. And yeah, I'm chugging along. I'm trying to find the time to put in there with working 40 hours a week and doing this and doing that. And next thing you know, we got the holidays coming up. So I'm trying to get that done. I'm trying to get that written, the rough draft, you know, by the end of this year, which I'm hoping to get there. And then be done with that, and then start the edit next year. And then hopefully early next year, I'll have the last book done. So I'm excited for that. But it's tough to kind of end something. Like, I know that I know how people feel then when you get to a certain spot of a series, a show, a book series, or whatever, or even just a book. It's tough how to end it. Where do you cut things? What do you do? So I'm trying to do that in a good manner that excuse me, that people enjoy, and it is exciting. But we're getting there. We're chugging along for sure. So. But yeah, guys, so let's talk about the episode, Season 8, Episode 9, titled The Sanctuary. So spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Also, if you guys play Fortnite, I play Fortnite, and I just started this past weekend, was the OG season, and it's definitely getting used to it, and I remember some of the spots from I didn't play it from the very beginning, but it definitely was cool to see some of the previous, you know, areas and stuff on the map. But it's done on December 2nd, I think, and then it'll be the next season for that, so it should be pretty cool. I want to see what's going to happen with that too. So all right, guys, let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 9. So 7 and 8 were heavy on Madison and Troy. Diana had some trouble ordering one of your books. Well, what happened, Diana? Let me know what happened. Was it like not going through, or what happened with that too? So I want to know kind of what was the problem. Because I have to look into that if it's kind of still a problem with it. But was it paperback or was it Kindle? Which version was it too? So Season 8, Episode 9 is titled Sanctuary. It focuses heavily on Dwight, Sherry, June, and these other people that kind of took over the Sanctuary. Like, it doesn't make sense, like, with things, but it does. So the episode starts with Dwight going back to his house that we saw on The Walking Dead. It's not the same house. It's a repurposed house set kind of thing. Like, they made it. Just kind of like the same thing with King County with Morgan. It's not the same exact thing. Same exact spot. But Dwight's there, and he's just trying to relax and do his own thing and, just be there. But you see the picture of him and Sherry, and the house looks to be untouched. So he's there, and then someone comes to the house, and the guy comes in the house, and Dwight has his gun on him, and he says, "What are you doing here? I need help. I thought the house was empty, blah, blah, blah." So evidently he needs insulin. And he is asking for help from Dwight to get his insulin back from the people who took it. And right away it's like, what are the odds of that happening, about insulin, his sister-in-law, and just like that's what the whole thing was. So it's a nice callback, and it's a callback, not a nice one, but a callback to The Walking Dead, and Fear the Walking Dead's trying to do different things. So it's just cool to see the flashbacks and stuff, like The Walking Dead Eternal. So I gave this episode a 7 because the flashbacks, seeing flashback Daryl and Negan. So you get to see glimpses of the sanctuary and glimpses of things there too. So after some coercion from the guy, Dwight decides to help him. And they go back to the only sanctuary. And again, it's not the same. They remade it. They reset it up. They repurposed some things. It's not the set that they used at the studio. It's... What's up, Muhammad? And they get to see the sanctuary again. So Dwight goes there. The guy's like, "Yeah, in there." He's like, "Really? This is crazy." So they have walkers chained up to the fences with metal on their head, just like The Walking Dead kind of thing. Sanctuary 2.0. Yeah, it's kind of like Sanctuary 3.0 at this stage now. But hey, James. So it's cool that they went there, but it's not the same. It doesn't have the same feel, it doesn't have the same things. But either way, Dwight decides to go into the sanctuary, get the insulin. He walks underneath the fence and gets in. The walker that's there with the metal on their head that's chained to the fence gets loose, and he gets inside the sanctuary, finds the insulin. Well, no, he finds the insulin, but he's just looking at the fire, like the furnace is burning. And he looks at the fire, and he thinks about the fire and how he got burned and how this happened and just all this stuff from before. A guy comes behind him, points his gun at him. Dwight's like, no, whatever, blah, blah. Does this, knocks the guy out or something, knocks the gun out of his hands and then throws him into the fire. Well, he doesn't, I guess he doesn't knock him out, but he throws him into the fire. And he shuts the door, and then he cooks the guy, basically. As he's there looking, he gets shot in the arm, like grazed in the arm by the rest of the people that live in the sanctuary now. And Dwight takes the insulin, runs back to the house. He's like, I got it. The guy who was at the house stayed there, ends up dying anyway, comes out, and, Dwight puts him down. Dwight lays on the front porch, and he breaks down and is like, "Daryl, just kill me already. I tried to make it right. Because he remembers the conversation that Daryl said, make it right, do this, make it right. So Dwight tried, and as he's there, a car rolls up, and he's like, "Just kill me, Daryl, just kill me." And he's there, and he's about to pass out, and he looks at the person there, and it's Sherry and June. And I think Dove, too. And they go into, or Odessa, that's her name. He passes out on the mat. They take him inside. They look him over. June, Sherry, and Dove look after him. And June's like, kind of like a wuss now. Like, she doesn't want to do medical stuff. She's making Sherry stitch up Dwight's arm. And it's like, June's kind of like not doing stuff too. Yeah, Diana, let me know. Let me know what happens with that too. So, yeah, like if it was, let me know if it was paperback through Amazon or digital through Amazon, and which book it was. I'll see if there's a problem, or if I can correct it. So, just Sherry stitches up Dwight's arm. Dove, they want Dwight to come back to train the kids, to work with the kids to fight Troy, because Dwight taught them stuff before. And so they'll listen to him. Which I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Right? So then Dove she drives back to the house and she's wounded. And June is like, what happened? They tried to steal the truck. But where were you? Like, what were you doing? What was happening here? But Dove needs medical treatment. They don't have any medical supplies here. They don't have anything. Dwight doesn't want to do anything. He wants to stay here because every time they work on this, they do this, and it doesn't work out, and it's going to work out. And he's just like down in the dumps. He's depressed. It's not going to work out for him. So, okay, he gives up, but then Dove gets injured, and so they go to check on her, and the 4 or 5 guys that are from the sanctuary come there. And the one dude is like, all right, their leader is like, look, we told you we'd make it right between us. If we have medical supplies, we'll give you medical supplies, but we need Dwight to come with us to make it right because he killed the other guy. So eye for an eye, we're taking him with him. Dwight's about to go, but then Sherry's like, nope. And she fires a couple shots and they scatter. So Dove is wounded, but they decide to go to the sanctuary to get the medical supplies and do this. So Dwight, Sherry, Dove, and June go into the sanctuary. Dwight sees the room that it was in. But like everything looks kind of like what it was and was falling apart and here and there. But Dwight's room was like untouched. But people were living there like after the war. And then it kind of fell apart. So it wouldn't look like exactly the same. Like he would have been living there. But either way, the chair was there and stuff. And so it works, but it doesn't work and whatever. So Dove needs medical attention, this and that. And then the walls start like shaking. And you're like, what the heck's going on here? The fence is broken. Everyone's coming in here. The walkers are getting in. They're doing this. And they're coming around. They're banging on the stuff. And they're trying to get in there. Which is like there's like too many walkers yet again. And Dove's like, I need help. I do this. And June's like, I can't help you. I can't do this. So June like turns into a wuss. She can't do anything. She can't help out again, which is pretty annoying. Sherry's trying to help. Dove doesn't want Dwight to do it because he can't help her. He couldn't help her son. So it's like help his son. It's like just like what? Finch comes up a couple times. It's just like whatever. Dove's complaining, but she's shot, and it's like it's terrible. That actress is not good, and the part sucks, and it's just not good at all. And so they leave, they do this, they come back. It's a lot of like back and forth dumb stuff, kind of like Mo yet again. Like the writing there was just dumb. And June doesn't want to help or whatever, but either way. So they leave, and then Dove's like trying to take the bullet out herself. She's like, then she drops the scalpel on the floor, and then they fall to the ground and passes out, and it's just a big mess. And Sherry is like, you're not going to do this because Dwight's going to basically go out there and sacrifice himself so they can get away. So Sherry locks him in the room, and Sherry goes out, and she's shooting the walkers. She's got like infinite bullets, by the way. She's like, boom, boom, boom. And then she's on the radio talking to June while she's firing, and there's this, and the walkers are kind of around her, but not enough. She's at the fence. The fence falls down. She's like confined there forever, but the walkers don't get to her. Dwight punches the wall like a bunch of times, gets bloody knuckles, which wouldn't be smart to do. June goes and breaks Dwight out. Dwight goes and saves Sherry with an axe and takes out a bunch of the walkers, helps Sherry get up. They take out a bunch of walkers, and they get back inside. Now, the guys come back out that were living at the sanctuary, but they're not there at all. Like, I don't know where they went in this. So either way, they come back in. The door gets knocked down. And then they come in, and all the walkers are coming in now, plus them. And the sanctuary is falling apart. Like, it's literally the roof is caving in. So Dwight, Sherry, Dove, and June, they have to decide where they're going to go, what are they going to do. And there's a walker in the furnace. And the leader of the guy puts his gun on, Dwight, and Dwight is in trouble. Dwight ends up opening the door or knocking the guy down or whatever, and opens up the door. And then the walker that was in there, I have no idea how he survived, how he didn't get burned alive and get cremated, basically. But he's a walker now. So I guess they turned off the furnace and it was too late, but he was in there. So either way, the walker comes out and bites that leader of the sanctuary there too. And then the sanctuary is collapsing, falls on people, falls on walkers. Where's Dwight Sherry and June and Dove going to go? They go into the furnace and they lock themselves in it. It's not on now, so they're fine, but they can go and hide in there. So as the sanctuary is falling apart, they're safe in the furnace, and they're just doing this, and they got to do the surgery, and then blah blah whatever. But Dove's saved, everything's okay. And as they come back out of the furnace, I didn't see the finch that was there, but a bird is sitting there on top of the furnace. I saw it in the after effects. I don't know if it was in the episode or not, but either way, it's a sign that Dwight and Sherry need to work together still, and they do this and that. So at the end there, Dwight decides to come back. Dove is sitting in the car, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I like you now, Dwight. You're cool, blah, blah, blah." You're like, "Red Kite, call me Dwight. No, I'm Dove. No, call me Odessa, blah, blah, blah." They get into the thing, and they drive away from the sanctuary to go back to Padre. So that's the end of that stuff. We get to see the sanctuary again, which is kind of cool. But then at the end of the episode, we see... Oh, also, Dwight cuts out a piece of wood that he hollows out for June's finger. And it's like it's like the longest piece of wood. So I was like, man, she's got like this super... She doesn't put it on, but it's like the biggest long piece of wood for her index finger. So I guess June won't have to wear the bandage anymore. She can just put her finger in there. So it'll be like there. So at the end of it, we hear like this music playing and this and that, and you see Strand in this room. And it's like this music that's playing, and he's putting like a dress up, and he's got this, and he's got that. And on the radio, we hear Troy. And Troy's like, "Have we found her yet? Keep looking. I know she's out here. She's got to be here somewhere. I don't know. We haven't found her yet." So talking about his daughter. So as the music is playing, Strand is in this room, getting this room together. The record stops playing. He takes off the needle, and you see these two people escorting this girl in. And she's like, "What are you doing to me? I don't know this. What are you doing? I'm afraid. I can't handle this. Blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah." So then they take the girl into the room, and Strand turns off the radio for Troy. He takes down the blindfold of the girl, and it's clearly Troy's daughter. So Strand he speaks German to these two people, so they're the German people from the hotel. Strand told these two German people to go kidnap this girl or find this girl, and they found her instead of Troy. So they go and they talk to this girl, and Strand says, "You're going to help me." And she's like, "Help you with what?" Well, we don't know yet. Is he going to give Troy back his daughter? Is he going to say, "You got to leave," or say that, "Look, we have your daughter. You guys can stay"? I don't know what the plan is. We don't know what the plan is. But the big thing is Strand has Troy's daughter at Padre. And it looks to be the same holding cell that Madison was in with the oxygen and everything. So that's how the episode ends. And then next week's episode, we get to see Madison, the girl with Strand, and Madison, Troy's daughter, and she's like, "Yeah, Alicia was in the herd there." So then Madison's going through to try and kill these walkers, and it's just a lot of like, we see Luciana, we see Troy again, we see this, and we see that. So it's a lot of back and forth, back to the Troy crap, where they can't kill him yet because we got to have this too. So I wouldn't say, Nick, the episode was boring. I don't think Madison brings like the great storytelling, and neither does Troy. So I think it was fine with Dwight, Sherry, June, and Dove for the story. I mean, it wasn't a boring episode. It was just what they do for Fear the Walking Dead, and then go back to Sanctuary and stuff was kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, we have 3 episodes left. The word is that next week's episode is going to be on the 12th. And then the word, I don't know if it's confirmed through Fear the Walking Dead or the Walking Dead people, but the 19th, I don't know if they're going to put both episodes there. So the last 2 episodes will be on the 19th. Excuse me, but that's what I heard from a couple sources, but I don't know if that's true or not. So worst case, it ends on the 19th. Or the worst case, it ends on the 26th, but the thing what I'm hearing is that it ends on the 19th. So the 26th to the 19th, I don't know if we have 3 more weeks of it or 2 more weeks if they combine the last 2 episodes on the 19th. So we'll have to see. Tim Simmons Q&A, how far is Padre from the sanctuary? Any idea? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, if, like, it's just so, like, crazy to think about Padre being in Georgia. The sanctuary was in Virginia, not Georgia. So, I don't know, right? Because, like, we didn't see the sanctuary until our group went to Alexandria. So, I'm guessing it's around the Virginia area. And where's Padre exactly? I don't know, but I'm guessing somewhere around Georgia. I mean, I know they filmed around Savannah, but I don't know where the actual location is. And at this point, I don't really care. I'm not trying to figure stuff out and find stuff out, because Fear the Walking Dead is laughable and just dumb and just like all these things and storylines and stuff where it's just, what's the end game? Like, where are we going? It's like zigzagging and U-turns and this things and forks in the road and coming back to, like, what are we doing with this? Like, what are we doing with Fear the Walking Dead? I just don't get it. But it was cool to see Dwight Sherry in the sanctuary again. And even though that's like season 7, no, it's season 6 when we see them for the first time, but the sanctuary is season 7, and season 7 is one of the worst things, but it connects to the Walking Dead universe too. So, I don't know. James Q&A, what do you think is going to happen to Morgan? I don't know. I mean, they left that really open-ended when he's talking about Rick. He's got to come back around again at some point, right? I mean, he doesn't have to, but I would really like to see the idea of Morgan and Rick being reunited. But, you know, the Rick-Daryl reunion, we need to see a lot of things connected with Rick. And I really hope the show coming up next year is a good start to it, because it's wishful thinking to think that we're going to get all this crap done in 6 episodes with Rick and Daryl, Rick and Morgan, Rick, RJ, Judith, Rick and this, Rick and that. So you would need like multiple seasons or multiple episodes. Like if it was one season of 10 episodes or one season of 12 episodes or something, then maybe. But 6 episodes is just not enough too. So, but so I don't know what's happening with Morgan. I mean, I know we know Morgan don't die and Morgan's left alone. So we'll see how it goes with that. But yeah, it's definitely something that. What's up, Billy? So you want to say hello? Come here, buddy. Okay. Ugh. So Milo wanted to come say hello. Say hello? Yeah? No? So he was there, and here's my boy, 16. He's definitely much skinnier, but there's Milo. So hopefully we'll see Skidmark soon. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with the future of all this, but it's like they got to this point in season 8, and the first part was Morgan stuff, and then the last 6 episodes are the original cast from the first 3 seasons, plus June, plus Dwight, plus Sherry, plus, you know, all the stuff from Padre. But I don't know. Is it going to be rewarding? Is it not? I don't know, too. Efren, glad the strike is not affecting the Walking Dead show. What's been your favorite spinoff so far? One Eyebrow, I think, is a big movie for streaming, like Star Wars was doing with Thrawn. So, I know you wrote, I think QE nude. I think we need a big movie for streaming like Star Wars with Thrawn. So my favorite spinoff is the Daryl show, Daryl Dixon, and then Dead City. And I'm hoping, the Rick and Michonne one is better than all of them. Like, I hope that's like the best. But we'll have to see what happens, because ultimately I'm still invested in the universe. Hopefully you are too. Hopefully everyone here in this chat or connected with the channel is, still involved with the Walking Dead universe. Jack says, do you think Morgan has any protein bars left? I doubt it, man. I would assume if he does, they're super expired. But at that point, You got to be, gotta bite the bullet and have an expired protein bar, I guess, right? If you're hungry enough. So I watched the show too before the stream. It's on Paramount, I think. It's Lawman, Bass Reeves, and it's a Taylor Sheridan show. It's a Western type show. It takes place like during the Civil War. It's like 18 something is the time frame, 1800s. So at the end of the stuff, and it's kind of cool, and it's got some big actors in it, and I've only seen the first episode. So the first episode came out, and it's pretty cool. If you like Taylor Sheridan, Bass Reeves, that's what we were just talking about, Tim. But it was pretty good. I liked it. I think the main actor is good. I think Taylor Sheridan continues a good story, and I thought it was supposed to. There has been talk that it was supposed to connect with Yellowstone, but I don't think so. I think it's its own separate thing too. So, Walking Dead Eternal, is The Boys on Netflix? No, The Boys is on Amazon. That's an Amazon show. The Boys and Gen V are on Amazon shows. Jack, do you think Dwight could go to Dead City season 2 or 3? If he does, I think June should go. It would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. 2 episodes out? Yeah, I've only seen 1 episode, Tim. I liked the first episode. What did you think of it? What did you think of the Bass Reeves? I would like to see Dwight and Sherry go to be on Dead City because they're connected with Negan. And there's not many people left that are connected with Negan. Like Dwight and Sherry are the only people left from the sanctuary besides Negan and the Croat. But Simon's gone. The rest of the lieutenants are gone. Everything there is gone. So, Mahmoud, Q&A. How do you think Fear will end off with its final episode? Also, what do you think they'll show in the post-credits? Your opinion? I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, so I really have no idea what they're going to do with Fear the Walking Dead. I think majority of the people live. Like, I think we have one more death, and I don't know who it's going to be. Like, I doubt it's going to be Madison. I doubt it's going to be Strand. I doubt it's going to be Daniel. But if it's Daniel, it's either Daniel or Luciana. I don't know what they want to do there. Troy's going to die, but that's obvious. You know, people from Padre are going to die. I think Strand's, I guess, husband and son, they could be in danger too. Like, I don't know. So I just know that I think majority of people are going to be left alive. You wouldn't bring Madison back to kill her off. And she has to get resolution about Alicia, and I really have no idea where they're going to go, what they're going to do. Because, well, Nick, how can Troy live? Do you think Troy is going to be with it enough where he can be like, yep, I'm going to run Padre and not kill everybody? Like is Padre going to be Alexandria or the Commonwealth type of thing? It's going to be Padre, though, right? Like, what is it going to be? Who's going to run it? Or is it going to be another community that falls? Because it's the end game, so I think Padre has to be the final destination like the Commonwealth. Alexandria, Hilltop, something like that. But who runs it? Do you really trust Troy to run it? No, right? I mean, come on. Is Madison going to have to save Troy's daughter? So he's like, oh, okay, we're friends now. We're good now. No, like I don't. But again, I don't know. I have no idea what these writers are going to do, what they're to. So Cleo says, I'm waiting impatiently for The Ones Who Live. Also, I enjoyed the episode more than the other two. I'm going to watch the Bass Reeves show also. Just finished Lioness. I didn't finish Lioness. Like, we only watched like a couple episodes. Like, I hope it gets much better. But Bass Reeves is a good start. I liked it, where it's going. I hope Lioness gets better. And we'll have to get back into watching that, if you recommend it. So yeah, ultimately, the Walking Dead universe is still going strong into next year. I don't know what the status of the actor strike is, because they're able to film the Daryl show because they had an exemption, but they're still on strike. And I know that I think their talks are going to resume, or they're going to send more offers or something, going to go back and forth. And I think they're making headway. So hopefully, because the writers are done, hopefully the actors can be done too. Like, I would really love, and I'm hoping that they're thinking to be done before Thanksgiving. But hopefully they should be done like this week or whatever too. And then I have no idea what that's going to impact for filming with Dead City Season 2. Because if they haven't started filming it yet, is that going to be a summer show now? Like, what's going to happen with that? I don't know, but I know we're going to get a second Season 2. Rupke, I haven't even started Loki Season 2 yet. I've started it. We watched, I think we're up to episode 4. And it's okay. I mean, it's like nothing's happening every episode. Like, stuff happens, but it's not. I just know that Ke Huy Quan, Data, and Short Round from Goonies and Indiana Jones, he's great, and he's really keeping the show alive. Jonathan Majors is okay, but he's barely in it. It's like, I don't think it's better in the 5th and 6th episodes, but I like Loki. I like the actor. Tom Hiddleston does a good job. And, of course, Owen Wilson, I like him too. So, hopefully it just gets more entertaining and just gets better. But the Marvel stuff has just been more missed than hit since Endgame. And there's been talk, there's a lot of articles that are coming out saying that they may try to get the original Avengers cast back together for a movie. And you could easily do it between Age of Ultron, Civil War, and you could do stuff like that. But it would still make a ton of money. Like, if Robert Downey Jr. comes back and all these people come back, and you have the original people coming back as the characters, it would work because there's a lot of time between Age of Ultron, Civil War, and all that stuff. So you could do stuff like that. And I think that would be the great time to do it if they're going to do something like that. But I don't know. That's just talk right now. Marvel needs to do something because their stuff just really isn't that great. Nick, who do you think kills Troy since you think he dies? If you're right, I'm worried. This show does not kill off their characters in interesting ways anymore since C&G took over. So I guess it's Madison. Like, it would have to be Madison actually kills him this time. And I don't know why Troy would live, because I don't trust Troy being alive there too. Like, this is the end of Fear the Walking Dead. This is it. We got 3 more episodes. Wrap it up. And you're not going to kill Troy off in the 3rd episode. It's going to have to be, the 4th episode, 5 or 6, whatever. Is my opinion. But Troy he was just mentally unstable in the 3rd season. And they had to put him down because you couldn't trust that he wouldn't do anything crazy to hurt others. Is the feeling I got, and that was a long time ago. But right? Like, is that why Troy was hit in the head by Madison twice with the hammer? Because I don't know. Like, it's just, and I think that's just going to have to come around again too. So, but I don't know. Fear the Walking Dead is just, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, and is it just me, or does everybody else feel that way too? Because I know people that love Fear the Walking Dead, or people love to say, it was great until Morgan showed up, or it was this before this happened, or it was great before that happened. And, okay, if you liked it, but we got this. This was the series that we got. The showrunners changed, the writing changed, this changed, that changed. It went here, it went that way. It went all the different ways. And then stuff was forced, and stuff happened here, and then the stuff with, and so it's just like, I'm just ready for it to be over. Like, I'm going to feel like a sense of relief when Fear the Walking Dead is done. Like, and I don't know what the plan... Like, I don't know how many people watch Fear the Walking Dead. Like, it can't be that... I don't think that many people watch Fear the... I would assume more people watched The Walking Dead, obviously. And more people watched Dead City and The Daryl Show. But I'm just, like, wanting some resolution and something just to be like, okay, now we're okay. I don't know what a post-credit scene would be okay. Like the World Beyond, the post-credit scene there didn't really make any sense with World Beyond. It made sense with The Walking Dead. It made sense with, I guess, Daryl, who was going to France. I guess the CDC, Primrose, Violent, Ohio, the start of it, I guess. You know, like, is that really what the post-credit scene was? And Fear the Walking Dead, would it be a post-credit scene of Morgan walking towards Alexandria or something? Like, I just don't know. Is that what it's going to be? So, I just don't get what's happening with stuff in the universe where they're going with it. Like, I don't know the value that anyone from Fear the Walking Dead brings to the Walking Dead universe. And I know people like Madison and like people like Strand and people like this, but what do they bring? Like, remember all the talk, and I guess it could still happen, but the timeline doesn't really add up anymore because of all the time jumps and all the stuff there too. Remember the people that thought Strand was in the helicopter yelling at Rick? Like, like, remember that? Like, people thought that. Like, people thought that Strand was in the helicopter there. I guess that could happen, but it wouldn't line up with the timeline of things. And, you know, I guess I don't even know how much time has passed since Rick was there. Like, the timeline of things is all over the place. And that's what happens when you get too many shows, too many cooks in the kitchen, too much stuff. People leave. Stuff has to happen there, too. Because, you know, I would assume... if Rick never left the show in season 9, Michonne doesn't leave in season 10, Rick has all this stuff with Alpha and the Commonwealth, and he gets shot at the Commonwealth, and it goes that way. And he dies there. Because Daryl is not looking for Rick because he's right there in Alexandria. Michonne doesn't leave because Rick doesn't leave. Like, none of that happens. So I don't know. Like, I'm just glad that we're going to see Rick and Michonne again. It works for that. But the Rick and Michonne stuff it just works because I'm happy to see them again. I don't know if it works and really helps with the Walking Dead universe or not, but it is what it is. The tangents that happen from the comic and the show and this, what happens. So it's just like, I don't know. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of people, not a lot, but some people saying they don't watch the spinoffs. Like, I would recommend to watch Dead City and the Daryl Show. Like, they're pretty good. But not Fear the Walking Dead. Nothing like that. You know? And the Daryl Show was worth watching because, I mean, Norman Reedus is quite essential to the Walking Dead universe success, in my opinion. Like, Daryl's an OG. He's from the first season. And they gave him more and more and more and more story and more focus and more importance and more this and more, you know. He was there right up with Daryl. He was right up there with Rick. Daryl was right up there as one of the most important characters when Rick was on the show. And then when Rick went away, Daryl became, like, the most important character. Because Daryl does so many things. But then I love the connections with Carol. So it's kind of like a blurred line of Daryl and Carol. Like, it was pretty cool, and it really works. So I'm hoping that Carol really helps the show. Like, not even, like, help the show, but keep the show good. Because I don't think the Daryl show needs help. I just think, like, a second season, like, what are they going to do? But Carol joining the show, it can only help it. Like, Carol and Daryl are awesome together. Like, they really, they carried a lot of the stuff after Rick and Michonne went away. It was Carol and Daryl. And then Daryl was blended in with Negan like it would have been with Rick, and stuff happened there. So it kind of carried, like, the Daryl character really blended stuff for blurring the lines of the Rick story. Because the show is the show and the comic is the comic, and I've always said that. And you can give stuff to Daryl that would have went to Rick. Or you can give stuff to so-and-so and give it to Carol. Or give it to Michonne. You can move storylines around. And because Daryl isn't in the comic. Morgan was a far different character in the comic. Carol, drastically different comic character. And those characters are essential for the show. Like, Morgan went away, but he came back, and it kind of helped the show a little bit, even though he kind of watered down with things, but then helped the universe a little bit. And, the stuff with the all life is precious and blah, blah, blah. But it was definitely something for a story with Rick. Daryl's not even any part of the comic, so that helps out there. And then Carol, drastically better. And imagine if Morgan dies on the show, Daryl isn't even on the show or dies in the first season. Carol dies in the third season. Like, imagine that. Imagine all the stuff, how the show would have been. Like, how it would have drastically been different. Maybe it's still good. Like, maybe someone else steps up instead of Carol. Someone else steps up instead of Daryl. Someone's there instead of Morgan. Like, you could have done stuff. So, I don't know. It's just food for thought. I just thought it was kind of interesting of a topic to bring up for the, Walking Dead universe and spinoffs and everything. But, Fear the Walking Dead just keeps missing the mark every season. So, yeah, okay. So if you think about it, you have 8 seasons. And so the first 3 are a different showrunner. And then seasons 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You have 5 seasons of the same showrunners. 5 seasons. So you're telling me you couldn't build stuff up in 5 seasons or 2 seasons for the third season and then get there and then answer this and settle this and do that. And the Walking Dead universe, not just Fear the Walking Dead, is all about build-up. The build-up. The build-up. The anticipation. The excitement. And then the payoff, a lot of times, not always, a lot of times, though, it's like, wah, wah, wah. Or it falls flat. Or it's like, or it's like, that really? That's what that was? Come on. And Fear the Walking Dead's no different. And I don't know if it's the writing or the budget or the time constraints or just everything against it or whatever, but they just put in stuff like the whole stuff with the stupid camcorder. I'm so glad when that went away. The stupid stuff that just was nonsense. Nonsense. Like, in a zombie apocalypse, you should be about what? Survival. Staying alive. Food, water, shelter, weapons, staying alive. A camcorder is not essential. Clean water is essential. Like, it's just like crazy. And it just got away from, it just ramped up the nonsense to 11. And the common sense to negative 11. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, season 6 is an outlier. Like, season 6 was good. So I don't know what those writers did or who those writers were or what they were doing, who came in to do that. But that was a great step. And then season 7 was terrible. Followed back to the same stuff, So, like, cut out first 3 seasons. Let's just start at season 4. Season 4, Morgan, got to do this, got to do that. Okay, got to build it up. Characters, new characters, old characters, blend them together. Kill off some characters, and we have new characters. Season 4, Season 5, bring in new people, new this, new that. Season 6, okay, we got new adversaries, new problems, new this, okay. And then, where do we go after that? Nowhere. The tower stuff, really dumb. Going into nothing, no carryover at all into season 8. Like, it was just like, it's so, I don't know, like, encompassing each season. It's like, this is season 4, this is season 5, season 6. There's no, like, it connects. There's no connecting of the dots. It's just so broken up. It's just crazy. So I'm like, frustrating. That's why I'm going to be glad when the seasons are over. The season's over. And I'm hoping that next week is, episode 10. And then we got episodes 11 and 12 on the 19th. Like, I'm really hoping so we can finish it on the 19th and then right before Thanksgiving and then do all that stuff and then we'll be done with it. But either way, guys, we'll be back next Sunday for the live stream. Enjoy football. Enjoy anything that you're doing today. Enjoy the episode if you haven't seen it yet. But I'll be back next Sunday and get some sleep, get caught up with it. Daylight savings, I'm not a fan. I got to, see how that goes for the next 2 weeks for it. But I'll be back next Sunday to talk about the Walking Dead universe and, of course, Fear the Walking Dead. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals no matter what they are. Keep working hard. I'll see you next week, and see you guys. See ya!